Welcome back, everybody, to game number 2 of Absolute Legends vs. LGD. This is for Beyond the Summits World Tour. We are in the very first round of the playoffs, our very second playoff game. I am LD of dotacommentaries.com. Joining me, of course, is Luminous of the same. Together we are David and David. Lumi, how you doing, man?
I'm doing great.
Great. Well, that was one of the quickest games we have ever seen, and 12-minute GG, in fact. It is LGD leading the series 1-0. AL, this is a single elimination playoff bracket. They are on the verge of being wiped out of the tournament, but they get Darkseer. And if any hero for AL is going to be a hero that can win them a game, I think it is that Darkseer.
They get the best hero in the game, some might say. Darkseer just throws a monkey wrench in any kind of draft. You want to do big AoE, Vacuum is something you want to worry about. If you want to do ganking strat, well, Surge is very annoying. If you want to push, there's that wall and Vacuum again. And of course, for Absolute Legends side, they could run so many different strategies, so many different combo, and all fields of Darkseer. He just have 4 of the best spells in the game, some would say. And well, it's employed by Absolute Legend. Let's see how they're gonna complement him in the second and third pick here.
Yeah, LGD, they get the Morphling and the Leshrac. Morphling has been winning a lot of games recently. And when Sylar plays the Morphling, he plays it a little bit differently from what we see out of a lot of the European or Western players, even other Chinese teams. A lot of players like to rush the Ethereal Blade. Sometimes we see Linkens, although that has not been as common as of late. Sylar always goes for the early BKB. Plays a very aggressive offensive Morphling, contributing early to team fights, not really just farming all game. And it also lets him push aggressively, because if he gets into trouble, BKB and TP out. So we'll have to see what he does this game. But generally, Sylar is a Morphling that gets involved early and stays involved through the mid-game. So don't be surprised at all if that's something we see out of him.
And I feel BKB is a great choice against that wall replica. Sure, your illusion is still going to be very, very powerful, but not as powerful if you're going for things like Manta, Butterfly, and all those agility items. Yeah, he's going to wait for BKB and isolate that Rubik, find that Enchantress, and try to do as much right-click damage to them as possible. Take them out of the fight quick, and then just give your team a 5v3, or 5v4, excuse me. And you're going to need that 5v4 against the Darkseer. He's just that insane. LGD, one more pick before the third phase. Shadow Demon is a great choice here. Shadow Demon, Morphling, and Leshrac when these pick a pair of 3 or a trio of 3.
Right.
So we don't see that pick. They have a absurdly high win rate for LGD, but it's going to be Sand King instead. And who could say no to that Sand King last game? I think he really single-handedly won them the game for LGD last game.
I believe that was DDC playing that. Right.
Oh, okay.
I think it was.
No, it's DD, I think.
Oh, it was DD. Okay. Why do the names have to be so damn similar? Either way, whoever was playing that Sand King did an absolutely fantastic job. I'm with you. He was the driving force behind that win. Although the rest of the team played pretty well. We'll have to see where they go from here, but they get a really potent combo. The Leshrac plus the Sand King. Although that Burrow Strike has a very low range, sometimes you'll see Sand King struggle to find that opening. LGD is a team that loves to smoke gank a lot earlier, and that can really help mitigate your issues getting a range. So we'll have to see where we go in the second stage of the draft. One hero that I want to point out is available is the Tinker. It's something we saw AL pick last game. It's something LGD still have a bit of room in their lineup if they want to go for it. And Tinker is the kind of hero that can stall while Morphling gets big.
Well, I'm not sure how much stalling LG is going to be doing. It seems like they want to take the aggression to the Radiant side. Let's see how successful they would be. Meanwhile, though, Absolute Legends going to go into a Brewmaster. So first hero that's picked up that really does not care about Leshrac, Morphling, or Sand King. You know, disable the Morphling by throwing up in the air or stunning another person. I think this is a great pick against this first 3 from LGD. The question is, how are they going to go from here? Because as a team, they don't really have a thing they're specialized in. They're okay in terms of team fight, Vacuum plus Brewmaster all, but they're never really good at anything. They're not great at pushing. They're not exceptional in ganking either. I wonder what Absolute Legends. They're kind of everywhere at once, I feel like.
Right, you're exactly right. They're very well-rounded, but they don't excel in any one area. I guess you could say team fight, but not until the mid-game. Darkseer is a great team fight hero, but you do need a maxed out Vacuum and at least 1 point into that wall, so not until level 10 or 11. Earlier on, he can contribute. By no means will we write him off, but he's not exceptional in the team fights until a bit later in the game. Same for Brewmaster, you really do want that level 2 ultimate online, as well as the Blink Dagger up. For LGD, it's also not like LGDs are slouches in the team fight department, right? They've got Morphling, Sand King, Queen of Pain, Leshrac. All these heroes can make big contributions in team fights. Good array of stuns, a lot of burst damage. And AL, a bit squishy here. The Storm Spirit is the pick. Will give them great initiation, but a hero that can be burst down if they have the chain stun to do so, which they do on the part of LGD. I just want to point out for anybody who's just tuning in, wondering where Bleek went. Apparently he was not able to play this game. They do have a stand-in. It is Slicks from Frenetic Array, which is a Heroes of No Earth team, so he will be standing in for Bleek this game. Snoopy is going to be doing the drafting this time around. So LGD looks like they need a support of some kind around this lineup out.
5 seconds remaining.
And going back to your point of the stand-in, that's their second stand-in because bdiz is also standing in. Now Absolute Legend very far away from their full roster of 5. Meanwhile, LG, of course, always playing with the roster of 5, looking for their last pick. The Stormsphere pick is a little bit curious to me. Who are they trying to initiate? Stormsphere is one of those heroes that you want to isolate a very, very important target. For example, Enigma that's channeling in Black Hole. You want to cancel it or initiate on him. Who's actually going to be that person here? Queen of Pain, perhaps? Maybe? Leshrac?
There's a couple
I feel...
Right. Yeah, you're exactly right. There are a couple of heroes you'd like to pick off, but is there anybody that essential? And is there one target that if you take them out of the fight, you're just going to win the fight?
Venomancer.
I don't see that target, so this Stormsphere pick is a little bit curious to me. Venomancer is going to be the last pick here for a little bit defensive purposes. The Radiant is going to be doing quite a bit of chasing with the Stormsphere, Blink Panda, I assume, as well as Darkseer Surge. So having any kind of great AoE slow, 50% from Venomancer, is going to be insane. Of course, the long range is really, really important, as I set up spell earlier, for the low casting range of the Sand King, as well as the long casting animation of Leshrac. So this is a very, very good complementary pick from LGD on the last draft.
I want to point out that Ale are, again, a bit lacking in terms of reliable disables. They have that Storm Spirit's ability to pull heroes in with Electric Vortex. They have Telekinesis, 2 single-target disables, but no AoE stuns, like a Burrow Strike, a Split Earth. So they still feel lacking in that regard this game, but what they have they didn't have last game, Lumi, is that jungling versatility. Let's go ahead and introduce the players. Sylar going to be on his signature Morphling. DD going to be playing that Sand King. You were right, I was wrong. DDC is going to be playing the Leshrac. Xiaowei will be going mid as Queen of Pain, saving 100 gold towards that bottle. And Yao looking to solo the offlane as Venomancer. This is something we have not seen in a long time.
I love it. It's great. He hasn't spent 200 of his gold yet, perhaps going for a fast boots, which is very, very key on that long lane, or maybe looking to pick up some sentry wards. Now, one thing do look towards him trying to do is perhaps actually go for a lot of stacking early on this Ancient camp. Now, we see Tinker do this quite a bit as a missplitter on the top lane by DDC. We see Tinker do a lot of this, or teammates of Tinker do a lot of this, but Venomancer, a great Ancient jungler himself. Once you get to level 5 or perhaps even level 7, Plague Wards max, just spam a whole bunch of them and then start pulling, and you're going to get yourself a lot of gold in EXP.
Right, and he might be saving towards Sentry Wards if that is going to get ward blocked. We'll have to see for the moment, though. LGD, pretty aggressive position around the map. 3 heroes up near that top rune. They will be getting the rune, regardless of which side it spawns on. It looks like they get it, it's top. It's an illusion. And it will be Snoopy with an Observer Ward placed on the high ground. Now, as far as a lane for Darkseer goes, I want to say this is one of the worst ones he can have to deal with. The double stun, the waveform, the chase. Surge is not a guaranteed get out of jail free card. If you get caught by one stun, you could still go down, even as a Darkseer in this lane.
Oh, definitely. Split Earth is a 2-second stun. Sand King Burrow Strike is a 2-second stun. So that's 4 seconds if chained properly. And I don't care who you are. At level 1, 4-second stuns, that's more than enough to get the kill. Now you can see that Snoopy recognize what's happening. Says, yeah, I'm going to come back when I turn level 2. Perhaps level 3 after I have access into a Surge. He's going to jungle it up, and that's a very, very good response. And now you can see that Leshrac is just hanging out right here to making sure that a Panda don't do too much. Shatan knows that is just... That's not 2 illusions. One of them is real. He's going to back off now.
Middle lane is going to be Xiaowei up against Shatan, and this is a pretty good lane for Queen of Pain. Of course, anytime you're up against a melee hero who doesn't have a mobility skill, you're going to have a good time. Panda can try and use his clap to farm, but Xiaowei should have total rune control in this lane, barring some help from the jungling Enchantress. For the moment, bdiz is content to farm, is trying to work towards that level 2. Has a decent creep picked up here if he wants to go for ganks, and for Yao, that is going to be the key, is trying to keep his vision up. He doesn't actually have any right now. There's no Observer Wards, there's no Plague Wards picked up. He could be ganked quite easily, but for the moment, bdiz is not going for it.
Yeah, just want to give a quick shout out to bdiz. I'm pretty sure he's not a very, very well-known player to a lot of the viewers right now, but North American player, very, very good jungler overall. Like to call shots a lot in the game, and like most junglers would, set up beautiful ganks as jungler, set up beautiful push as well, and great micro overall. So look towards bdiz on this very signature role, doing some very, very important dirty work against LGD. And here we go, Yao into the jungle, doing that pull, 155. I think perhaps he might be a couple seconds too late. Yeah, I think so. Missing the pull just by a little bit.
Oh, top lane, it's Snoopy, gets caught out in the river. Burrow Strike not available, needs about 10 more mana. Snoopy not going to cancel that clarity. Should be able to get away. They need one extra hero in the fight. And the clarity, the burst rate was available, they weren't going to get the kill, so they back off. But even with Surge, we could see Snoopy is just running for his life on this lane. Absolute free farm for Sylar. On the flip side, absolute free farm for Musica. Generally, you'd rather have the Morph getting that farm and trade out for Storm. LGD will be okay with this, but if Musica can make something big happen in the mid game, that will even things out. And we see Yao is already trying to do some jungling here. It's going to take him a while, but he can get some levels. We've seen this out of Demon when he played Rubik in the offlane. He'll just farm the Ancients. Not even really worried about doing it quickly, just getting something out of this lane.
Yep. Yeah, one thing about Stormsphere and the Morphling trading farm is I feel like both heroes could use farm very, very well. I feel just Morphling is so easy for them to get the extra kills. Stormsphere sometimes have to work for him a little bit. Have to worry about his own mana, worry about people TPing. Morphling just kind of just wait for him and go and right clicks for the kills. But I can see how you can make the argument the other way as well. Morphling have to kind of work for the kills. Stormsphere doesn't. At the end of the day, both heroes use this farm very, very well, and I think we're going to see a very exciting mid-game as both these powerful heroes are getting a lot of last hits in the lane.
Well, this offlane Venomancer, he's managed to hit level 2. Compare that to the Darkseer. Snoopy just hitting 2 now. Now, Snoopy would probably be ahead if he just jungled. Oh, middle lane. Shall taking a lot of damage. Will not die, but being harassed pretty well by Shatan, who's 10 and 2. He's falling behind the Queen of Pain. This is a lane that LGD is going to win. But for Ale, they're okay with this. As long as Shatan gets level 6, gets his core items up. The bottle being ferried right now. Still a ways away from the boots. Would like to have some upgraded boots, and by the mid game, a Blink Dagger. But again, I think they're okay with this. And to me, the one thing is, when is bdiz going to make his move? When is he going to leave this jungle and start to get aggressive? He sees Yao. He knows Yao is on an island in this bottom lane, but so far, just continue to jungle. He has the boots, and maybe that'll be the moment where he looks to get more aggressive.
Yeah, Yao hits level 3. I mean, despite against a semi-trialing, he's fine. He's actually trying to deny as well, so doing pretty good is Yao. Meanwhile, we do see Xiao going in the bot lane, finding himself Illusion Rune. One thing to point out here is that Queen of Pain did not pick up that second point of Shadow Strike. Being she wants to do a little bit more AoE damage instead of the lane harass. I think level 1 should be enough against Panda, and because Panda's HP level is so high that leveling up the Shadow Strike won't be doing too much. So, Queen of Pain is where she wants to be, and that's where she has, and I think that it's going to be a very, very powerful ganking build should she find the correct runes.
Here we go with the smoke gank. bdiz in position. Wildkin available for that tornado, but it is about to die. It will go down now. They only have an Ursa to clap here. Should be enough if the slows are chained properly. No, the timing not just right. The clap will come, but Yao so far back, they really can't dive this. And we're seeing the weakness of Storm before he hits 6. If that was a Morphle, you can wave in, maybe go for the kill, but until Storm gets that point into his ultimate, really not that flexible as a ganker. Meanwhile, the other smoke gank happening in the middle lane, and this one might be a kill. They're going to force out a Panda ult, almost certainly. Burrow Strike to start, Splitter to fall. Shatan will even get it off. Not going to. There's your first blood. Xiao picks it up, and this guy giving him first blood, that's always going to spell trouble for your team. Xiao 700 gold in the bank, level 6, and he's going to dive. He finds Snoopy. Will he get the kill? Needs one auto tech. Snoopy juking all over the place. Xiao has the blink, needs to bottle up. He's bottling up. Still trying to find him. A scream here would kill him. Nope, there you go. Xiao picks it up. A double kill for Xiao and a first blood. And that jungle Darkseer, surprising to see him go down in his own jungle, but that's the power of Queen of Pain.
And of course, the power of those 2 chain stuns. 2-second Burrow Strike, 2-second Flurry. I mean, Panda was so close dropping that ultimate off. If they missed that chain stun any second, they would have got not only not get the kill, but perhaps even lose the hero, because this Panda split is just insane as a spell. But overall, yeah, great kill for Queen of Pain. Now she's very, very far ahead. Could pick up that Treads if you want to do so, or the Arcane Boots. Now gonna get a haste rune in bottle. Ooh, this bot lane perhaps could be in a little bit of danger because Xiao is coming your way.
And here we
Maybe
go.
not, because the Centaur scouted him out.
bdiz will run for his life at this point. Queen of Pain with the haste rune picked up. Upgraded boots on the way. I believe those will be power treads. Indeed they will, and a clarity potion just to keep his mana pool up. Doesn't want to have to waste that haste rune for regen just yet. Like this decision from Xiao. Once he hits 7, that's going to be trouble for AL. They are all very squishy. Even Darkseer. I mean, we saw Panda could get Burst Town, and he's got 967 health. And LGD, it's not like they've reached their prime in terms of the nukes. None of these nukes are maxed out just yet.
You can see the reason why Yao's playing so well in the bot lane here. A ward in the trees on the right, a ward in the left. They're just making sure he's not getting ganked from any direction. He picked up the early boots, like I mentioned. That 200 gold was saving for the boots. And because of that, he survived the Enchantress gank earlier. Now level 4 and 4.5 on the mid lane, hitting 5 very, very soon. Of course, his teammate is doing a very good job. On me on the top lane, though, surges out for Snoopy. Would that be enough? It should be. Although his surge is running out, and it seems like Queen of Pain wants to go for a dive. Snoopy's gonna TP out. No adaptive strike for Morphling. Not this early, so it's gonna be 5. But gets driven back once again and not getting any farm. This is level 5 on the Darkseer, and look at that Morphling already. Up to 43 and 23 denies. He's playing solo Dota right now, and he's having a great time.
Musica is matching him more or less. bdiz. I think this has just been spotted out. Certainly is now. Tornado goes in on DDC. 2 heroes are mid, and bdiz should just back up. One thing to point out for AL is they've had a Panda with an ultimate for about 2-3 minutes now. Still have not found an opening to use it just yet. Also, Musica still not hitting 6 despite being on this bottom lane. Whereas Morphling's already level 7. Bottom lane, though, they find Yao. Telekinesis, pull him back in to the Remnant. That's a cute little combo. Everybody from LGD disconnects. I believe he was dead anyway. I think that kill happened before they lagged out, but not really sure. Either way, they get a kill. They get on the board. And LGD having some computer issues. Looks like they're starting to reconnect. Unfortunate time to DC.
Perhaps the modem just crashed or whatever, but they're fine. And of course, I think that Venomancer kill was I don't know what he's trying to say.
For anyone,
any case,
for anyone who's just tuning in, I just want to make sure everybody knows this is game number 2 of AL versus LGD. I see we have a lot of new viewers trickling in. This is game 2. Game 1, LGD took very quickly and decisively. It's a best out of 3. Single elimination playoff bracket. So if AL lose this game, they go home. If AL win this game, we move on to a game 3.
Yep. And LGD off to a great start. Queen of Pain getting a first blood and a double kill. Venomancer just died right now. And again, I don't think Lag had anything to do with it. No way he was going to survive. And that hits Stormster down to level 6. And that's going to be absolutely huge. As Electric Vortex is a level 3. Which reminded me of the trivia question that we asked last night. You want to go to level 3 Electric Vortex and don't level up anymore. Start to go to Overload or Static Remnant, because level 3 is all you need to pull them into your Remnant range.
Yeah, the only reason you would really go for Remnant is to push. Generally, you'll see the extra points put into Overload because you can spam that ult. Gives you a little bit more DPS potential. Overall, here we go. The gank comes in. Burrow Strike to start. Splitter to follow. Musica will go down. One more right click, and now they move on to Rubik, who stole a level 3 Burrow Strike of his own. This could be huge. Maybe not enough to keep bdiz alive, who's only level 4. bdiz, that failed gank, really setting him back. And this is something you hope for when you're playing that jungle enchantress. Get the first blood with that first smoke, and then turn it into a tower. Neither of those things happen. And here comes Xiao8, diving behind the tower. Yeah, buddy, the standing gives himself away with the auto attack. I believe that was a mistake. Will blink out in the part of Queen of Pain. Xiao8 trapped in the trees. Oh, this could be bad. Do they see him? Split Earth is going to hit 3, and Xiao8 also maybe give him an opening. He will back off for the moment. It looks like everybody's going to get away. 4 AL hitters grouped up in the bottom lane. Panda still sitting mid. And again, this is a Panda who's still not used his ultimate. And here we go for Yao, Lumi. We've seen this before from a lot of teams recently. Venomancer setting up shop in the middle lane. Wall of wards. He's probably not going to leave here for the next 3 or 4 minutes.
Yep, and it's going to be so difficult to kill him because he is going to be having that ward pushing the lane constantly, and he's going to have access to the runes. Meanwhile, we do see this big gank coming in, being led by Rubik. Rubik's such a good ganker if you get off that telekinesis, but cast range is actually not too high, so the surge can be combined with him. But for now, Yao's sitting very pretty, just dropping those wards on the mid lane.
While this is all happening, Sylar is just ignoring everything on the island, like you mentioned, top lane, farming it up, and a rare divergence for Sylar. Because he's having such a good start, it looks like he might be headed for Lincoln Sphere. Sometimes you see this Rain of Health and you think, oh well, he's just going to use that to farm. Oh, LGD smoke gank is revealed. They spot out bdiz. bdiz is screwed. He will go down, and now the chase onto Snoopy. Queen of Pain will hit on 2. Oh, Xiao8 getting a little bit lucky there, hitting yeah, buddy as well. Burrow Strike in. Xiao8 dropping low, double kill. The mega kill streak ends, and now DD caught out. Musica with the big plays. Will it be enough though? One more zip. Trying to buy DD. Salves up and goes into Sandstorm, but a clap might end his hopes of escape here. Double clap does him in. He will go down. But back to Sylar. He's going. You're laughing about something. I'll let you talk.
Yeah, Musica tried to do something really crazy. He tried to attack his own Furbog, his teammate's Furbog, and thought you could proc the overload charge. It didn't work, but I love his creativity. I mean, not many players will even think about doing something like that, but he was going deep with that strat. But yes, back to Sylar. He's farming great.
Yeah, well, he's going for Lincoln Sphere this game, which is not normally the build Sylar goes for. So I've seen him go Shotgun Rush once. I've seen him normally go for BKB Rush. But this game, he's getting absolutely uncontested farm, and that's something to keep in mind. Although AL are finding the kills, they're doing so with 5 heroes, pretty much. Shatan versus Venomancer mid. Shatan's kind of being held in place here. The other 4 are usually bottom. So AO are investing a lot, whereas for LGD, they're getting a little bit of something with all their heroes.
Right. And back to the Lincoln Sphere, I think it just goes back to what you pointed out earlier about Absolute Legends team build-up. They have a whole bunch of single target stun, whole bunch being 2, and just a whole bunch of other AoE stuff. And Morphling, I mean, BKB is going to be good against that AoE stuff, but if you block the first stun, whether it's going to be Electric Vortex or that Telekinesis, your reign is right there. You could do whatever the hell you want. I think that's exactly what Sylar is going for. So that's the Perseverance being the finish. We're not going to see extremely fast Lincoln's for like
lane,
a 14
Shout will go down, I believe, pulled back. One more right click. Musica completely out of mana, has the one. Should not be enough though.
Oh,
no, he just gets him from long range. Musica picks him up.
Meanwhile, that 400 AT attack range is still very good. Meanwhile, on the top lane here, it looks like Snoopy in a little bit of trouble. Waveform is pulling down 6 seconds, but surge back. But here's Sanking. Burrow Strike. Where's the Burrow? There's a Burrow. Ultimate being channeled. Would that be enough? Yes, it would. I'm not sure it was a overkill, but hey, a kill's a kill. So.
And the reason they were able to catch that Queen of Pain is that I believe, yeah, Buddy actually stole Shadow Strike. It looked like Queen of Pain was affected by it. Might have been the chance to slow as well. Here we go, Yao gets pulled in again, slaps the follow. He will go down instantly, melting to Shatan with the haster. Gold TP in, surprised that wasn't canceled, but Chow will blink away. And the lack of lockdown for AL means they get one, but they can't turn it into multiple. No Burrow Strike there, no Splitter. That's something to keep an eye on, though, is if Rubik can keep Burrow Strike up, then they do have reliable stuns. To me, that's the most important spell for him to try and steal this game.
Or Splitter isn't too bad if you have Stormster zipping in. It's very, very powerful as an AoE stun. But yeah, Burrow Strike is where he wants to be. Although perhaps not, because you kind of throw your very frail body in there as well. So, you know, there's plus and minuses of that spell. Meanwhile, though, Leshrac goes off on the top lane here. Brewmaster used that ultimate, and that's, what, 6 minutes, 7 minutes after he picked off the ultimate? He held it on a very long time, and I don't think he was holding on to it very patiently. He just hadn't had the chance to use it. But now he would, because he just picked up a Blink Dagger, and now this team fight for the Radiant is fully online.
Yeah, level 11 already secured for Brewmaster. Didn't leave mid, didn't contribute with his ult until just recently. But man, did he get the levels in the farm. Venomancer not shutting him down. And Xiao is behind. He's level 9 now, that early couple of deaths that he's endured. Despite being 5-1, or having 5 kills, 1 assist, it's not enough. He's behind, and having the start he did, it's not something you would necessarily expect to see. He's tied up with Musica now. Both these heroes filling a similar role, so that initiator, a ganker-style hero for the team. We're just going to have to see where the teams want to go from here. DD, Arcane Boots picked up. Here comes the smoke. This is what LGD love to do in the mid-game. Constant aggression, constant smoke ganks while their Morphling farm safely tucked away in the top lane. And Sylar is being left alone for the most part. Even when Panda dropped his ult mid, didn't even try to gank him. Just went for the Leshrac and backed off. Will they go bottom? Looks like they want Musica.
Yeah, and they definitely can get Musica. Well, maybe not. Venomancer's burst damage isn't too high. Gale and Venomancer ultimate. The damage output isn't fast enough, I feel like. The 4 seconds perhaps not going to be enough. Does Sanking have his ultimate? No, just 14 seconds, so perhaps they're going to wait for that one. There is Lightning and Edict up on Leshrac. They got to just blow every single spell for this Stormster, and they might not even get him, so we'll have to wait very patiently. Are they going to wait for the epicenter? Seems like not. They're going to go right now. Stormster, will he zip out? There's going to be one stun. The second stun comes in, but it won't be enough. Musica just zips out. Teleportation comes from Rubik. Still, the Sonic Spear and Pain was stolen earlier, and yeah, but he gets 1 kill. He's looking for another. Yeah, Stormster is just 2 tank, and of course his Strength Shred's very helpful in that
great
engagement.
play by bdiz. Denies the DD rune bottom, even though he's off in the jungle. Not risking his hero's own life, but making sure to deny that DD to a hero that can really use it to full effect. Yeah, overall, that just backfired. It goes back to Storm having that good farm. This is a hero that, if he doesn't have that early power charge and the null talisman there, he dies. He needed every bit of stats to live. And it just goes, this is why Storm normally struggles in games, because you shut him down once or twice, that is a kill. Whereas in this game, it's not. And then the fight turns around completely. End up investing a smoke as well as 3 heroes' time, and they get nothing for it. Great play by AL.
They get a death, which is not something what they want. Morphling, by the way, almost up to his ultimate orb. My question is, how much dividends is this Radiance gonna pay off? And, or excuse me, did I say Radiance? I meant Lincoln Sphere. But to be honest, I'm not sure how much it's gonna do in a team fight. Really, like it's gonna block a spell, but I just don't think that's good enough. I feel like BKB is the superior option, and I'm very surprised to see Sylar, who goes BKB like 99 times out of 100, not going for it right here.
Well, they clearly feel that they can hold off the push with the Venomancer wards, the big AoE disables from the Sand King and Leshrac. And Sylar can contribute something to the team fights. He just can't be in the thick of things. He can't be the initiator for this team, but that's maybe where you have Xiao 8, the Sand King, and Leshrac going first. Although, speaking of Leshrac, he is really far behind. DDC, only having boots and a wand, has been buying all the wards. Sand King as well. DD, not really having much in terms of stats. The Venomancer is the one who got more farm, and he's almost got a mechanism. The mech pickup relatively early, especially for an offlane Venomancer. This could be a tide turner, really allowing LGD to turtle to avoid the burst damage of AL, and try and sort of weather the storm while Morphling gets big. But you're right, Morphling will not be contributing too much here for the first, let's say for the next 5 to 10 minutes or so.
Yep. But if I'm looking at the total goal earn, it seems like the Radiant is just falling behind. Morphling and Queen of Pain leading the chart. Both teams are even in tower. Well, just as to say that mid tower is being destroyed. And that pulls LGD even further ahead. Yeah, the Dire team is overall farming a little bit better. Despite of the great counter ganking then being done by Absolute Legends. So I think LGD is absolutely fine here. They just haven't hit their peak yet. Once they do, though, they're extremely, extremely powerful. Perhaps even stronger than the Absolute Legends squad, I think.
To me, they're fully content to do this. They can turtle all day with the Venomancer wards, the big AoE stuns. LGD have a lot of anti-push. Not as much as you might think. There's no power shot, but just with the wards as well as the Queen of Pain just sort of screaming from a distance and Morphling maybe waving out of the creep wave. They don't, even Leshrac is going for lightning, and I like this choice a lot, because if they hold on to their outer towers, I think they'll be in good shape come the late game. I also want to point out, Yao has his mechanism picked up now, so I wouldn't be surprised if LGD maybe try and go for another smoke gank, get a kill or two, and then head into the Roshan pit. This is a team who could do Roshan pretty quickly, especially if they get a medallion online.
Yep. Xiao also has an ultimate orb, and normally that would be like, oh yeah, ultimate on Queen of Pain going for Hex or Lincoln Sphere, fairly standard, but again, this is a surprising factor to me. Chinese Morphling and Queen of Pain player loves blacking bar in this game. They're like, nope, no blacking bars needed, because perhaps the lack of single target disable, they know they're going to get off their spells regardless. And here we go, the top lane is going to be contested over Musica just farming in the lane. He's going to be going for Lincoln Sphere as well, blocking out that very, very important Burrow Strike initiation.
Well, there's a lane ward here, so I believe this was entirely spotted, even though the Bleak Dart is up on Shatan. Doubt they're going to find any sort of kill. Sylar, even if you catch him out, so much HP, can always morph towards strength if he needs to. Going to be very difficult to bring down, and there you go. The Lincolns you mentioned, it is picked up. And there goes your opportunity to initiate. Now they need multiple heroes to target him, just to get off a single disable. And even then, he can still wave out, replicate out, morph to strike. I don't know how they kill this morph in this game. It's got to be focus the supports and then go for him last. Blinking clap onto Yao. Mechanism online. Doesn't use it in time. He will go down. Sylar should be fine himself. Maybe even going to turn this one around. We'll have to see. They're kind of turtling for the moment. Musica maybe going for a second round here. Xiao 8, wait for mid. Pretty big damage. Not enough though. And something just got stolen. What was it? It was the adaptive strike. The one spell you really don't want to steal. Although it gives them a stun, a mini stun to work with. We'll have to see if it really matters. Morphling thrown up in the air. Tornado dropped the top of it. Tornadoes everywhere, pretty much. DD running for his life. Morphling should be fine with the Lincolns, but it's Sand King they want. And it's Sand King they should be able to get Burrow Strike out. Very low, 27 HP. DD, no way he's going to live through this. You got to be kidding me if he does. He's going to escape. He's going to live, and it's bdiz that we're now looking at, but healing up with the Ion Shell out of the Surge available. These teams just can't kill each other, and they're also tanky. One kill happened onto the Venomancer, but that's it.
Yeah, I mean, that was an ultimate that didn't actually accomplish anything because they killed the Venomancer even before that ultimate was being used. So Panduran Brewmaster ultimate is just not enough because there's no single target lockdown. They could just run away from that Panda ultimate. Sure, he could stun one, he could toss one up in the air, but they just don't kill quick enough without the lockdown. And now here comes the other push, the other way. Morphling leading the charge, DDC extremely healthy. He's got the lightning, he's got the edict. This tier 2 tower is going to be taking some damage, and big damage is incoming very soon.
Yeah, I want to point out this is such a good time to push because Darkseer is only level 9. Doesn't even have a max vacuum. No points to wall replica just yet. And like you said, the Panda ult is down. These are the two big ways for AL to turn a fight around. They have a Lincoln's almost up on the Storm. Storm can zip in and grab one, but they don't have that big team fight wombo combo just yet. And without it, it's going to be real hard to stop this push, and that's why we see LGD, even though DD is sitting on 100 health, the mech will be coming in. Sylar, 550. Even after the mech, DD's going to be very low, but they don't care. They want to use Edict on this tower. They want to do some damage while these ults are not online.
How ballsy is this play for DD to hang around with 100 HP when there's a Stormster on the map? Now, of course, Stormster is on the bot lane, but He doesn't know that. Like, you
Right,
know,
he can always
just
TP
instantly
in.
get picked up.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, he doesn't have the
knows
Lincolns
that's-
yet. Could be locked down and turned around upon. We'll have to see.
Well, if you kill the Sand King, who's gonna
Right.
lock him down, right?
Right,
So,
right.
Yeah, but there's a mech coming in, so he should be fine. Here we go. The entire crew gets blown up, and they're gonna back off. All right. So the pause gave them a little bit of time to think, and they say, "Nah, let's back off."
Can't really
Not too
argue with
safe.
that choice.
Yeah.
Well, after a bit of back and forth, still a pretty even game, but like you said, overall, these Dire heroes are farming just a bit better. Morphling and Queen of Pain topping the gold charts. And the next closest hero on the Storm, not very far behind, 385 gold per minute. But Panda is way behind, 284, and then beyond that, it's a very steep drop-off. AL are a team who you'd expect to farm better in the early game because they had two jungle options in the Darkseer and the Enchantress, and some heroes that can farm in the solo lanes, or in the safe lane and the mid lane. So you'd expect them, if anything, to be ahead. Now, it helps that there's a tower down on the top lane, a tower down on the mid lane, but still, on top of those towers, it is a bit of a farm lead going the way of LGD. In fact, a lot
Also,
as we look at Morphling. 140
yeah,
CS.
insane, and he only has a Lincoln to show for it. That's why Lincoln is not my favorite item. 5,000 gold just for damage block and a couple of damage and stats. It's okay, but it's just not insane. They sealed away for him, which is, yeah, buddy, extremely happy about that one. Escape spell as well as a nuke. But I just want to point out, Darkseer is just having no farm at all. He's earning as much gold as a support on the Dire spot.
Zip it on the Shao, pulled back, will be locked down, burst down. And this could be a problem for LGD right now, is Queen of Pain not having the Lincolns, not having the BKB. Musica can pretty much pick him off at will with the help of that Panda. We see it here. I don't think this is the last time we're going to see it.
Yeah, and that answers the question I asked earlier. What does the Storm really pick for? Who they really want to lock down? I guess Queen of Pain so far is the choice, and of course it could change in a team fight, but right now Musica doing a very good job keeping his team afloat, and he's got his Lincoln Sphere finish. Could carry out whenever possible, and meanwhile this defense on the bot, I think it's going to hold. I don't really foresee AL taking this one down, so yeah, they're going to back off.
And this is what you talked about. AL don't really have a fantastic push. They have an Enchantress who very early on can be an effective pusher, but at this point, those creeps are not going to do a whole lot. There's plenty of AoE. Burrow Strike in, Epicenter, Split Earth, Snoopy locked in place, bleeked by Shatan. That ult is back online, Snoopy not going to live. Zip in, back onto DDC, will keep him alive. Not enough, Queen of Pain blinks in. Queen of Pain might be in a bit of trouble here. DD, Burrow Strike through, locking Musica in place, the Gale to follow. Not enough burst, and Musica absolutely man mode engaged. Unstoppable, double kill. Tower focus goes onto him. bdiz gonna be able to heal him up. Musica TP's back, but Sylar, while this is all happening, still on that island up top, gets another tower. 2,300 gold in the bank. 160 CS in 22 minutes. Averaging almost 8 CS a minute. I guess call it 7. Burning. Might have someone hot on your heels here. Sylar is farming like an absolute champ in this game.
Well, I don't know. Sylar haven't seen a hero in this game so far, so, I mean, Darkseer wasn't his lane. He was just kind of rising away. Now, I'm not taking anything away from Sylar, but calling him burning is maybe perhaps going a little bit too far.
I'm just trying to hype it up, man. Here they go into the Roshan pit. And this is what happens when that Panda ult is down, is LGD get a lot more confident. I love this decision by them. Really, what can AL do here?
They just lost a fight mid, but they're like, let's go Rosh, because that Panda ultimate is down, like you point out. And of course, meanwhile, Dire's ultimate, they're very, very low, on, or at least shorter in cooldown by comparison, so they could go in. The question is, do you actually give this to Sylar, or perhaps to your Queen of Pain, who's struggling a little bit?
I'm with you on the Queen of Pain. I think she's the hero you would probably want to give it to, but maybe they just want Sylar to get fat and don't even care. To me, both are viable, and it will be Sylar. He picks it up. Yasha secured 1,000 gold in the bank. If he wants the Manta style, which it looks to be his next choice, he almost has it. Then he's going to have one big damage item up, as well as, well, really they're both sort of utility items. They give you some damage, they give you some survivability. A little bit of everything with the Manta and the Lincolns. And then we'll probably see him go for something big, like a shotgun, maybe an Eye of Skady, just something that will let you do the big damage. AL have
Meanwhile,
on Snoopy
we saw the Perseverance into Ultimate Orb on the Storm, and we expected the Lincolns, but it's gonna be a Gwinsu, which I love this build up. You just start with that, the Perseverance and Ultimate Orb. If you're doing poorly, you finish that Lincoln. If you're doing really well in terms of farm, just buy that Mystic Staff and just disassemble your Purse, and you get a Hex. And this is an extremely powerful item, and Queen of Pain perhaps will be going down right now, because a Zip in, a Hex, a pull will be more than enough to pick off Xiaowei.
It will be, if he doesn't hide behind his tower, which is exactly what Xiaowei does. They still have a lane ward, Lumi. Another lane ward was placed, I believe. This is the second one. This lane ward is just saving their asses so many times. First, the Morphling. We did see Venomancer die, even having the lane ward, but that's really not a big deal at this point. So here comes the push top. Panda ult is up. Level 14 on Shatan, really leveling nicely. Finally, Snoopy hits 11. He's got 2 points in the ult. Level 3 vacuum. Not quite max, but 3 should be sufficient. And this is a time where AL have that big scythe device. They want to make a dive. Who will be the target? Shao8 was your prediction. In the past, it has been. We'll have to see if they go on him again. Looks like LGD are not going to contest this one. And the scythe is revealed.
Which Absolute Legend is fine with. They're going to take a tier 1 for free, and they're going to keep pushing for tier 2. Like Absolute Legend says, you have to take a fight sometime. And with Shatan's ultimate up, I don't think they're afraid of taking a fight. Absolute Legend could go for push.
Do they though?
No,
Sylar gets a tier 1, and he's not done.
Yeah. That is only the other problem. There's a Sylar that haven't dealt with it, and he's constantly pushing, so...
This is annoying. He's getting to this point where you can't ignore him anymore because he pushes so fast. Regardless of how much damage he can do in a team fight, he doesn't have to. He can contribute just like an Edgemage with a Battle Fury or Lycan with a Necro 3. Split pushing away, almost 200 CS, 25 minutes in. The one
and he gets worse because he's gonna have the Manta soon.
Right, and then how do you kill him? There's so many. He'd love to remove that slow from the from the Enchantress, as well as just have another way to kind of juke and confuse the enemy in these team fights.
It's great pushing power as well, so this goes back to the Morphling as almost unstoppable in this case. Stormster picks up the haste rune. How's the supporting cast for both teams doing? We have the mech up on Yao. That's been up for a long time. He's going to be trying to finish Urn as well. Meanwhile, the big zip against Shao8, but he's got teammates. Burrow Strike's going to hit. The Slurf is going to hit as well. Ultimate being channeled. Will that be enough? Yes, it would. Musica jumping from afar, but...
It was a bait.
Yeah, but he says, I don't have that jump. Wait for me, buddy.
It was a bait. Perfect play by LGD. They knew Queen of Pain was the target, and they bait out the Queen of... They bait out the Queen of Pain, or excuse me, the Storm, and get him into a bad position, pick him off. And we can see here, even with that scythe, he can be burst down, split earth, and as well as the Burrow Strike, too much lockdown, and that's something AL really don't have yet. Even with the scythe, here we go. Sylar
he's on the bottom. Link in from Sylar. Waveform's gonna get stolen. Telekinesis gets cancelled, but yeah, like you talked about the Hextech, Shao8 has his own. And of course, that engagement very helpful for that, and that's key. I mean, Shao8, who's been having such a struggling game, he's farming really well, but dying a couple of times for a Queen of Pain. But now up to a Hex, and that's the game really begins for LGD. I feel like.
DD has actually opted for a Vanguard here, and I actually like this choice because you're up against that Storm. Just tanking up, so even if he zips it and pulls you, he's probably not going to be able to pick you up. DDC, similar style here, just less gold to work with double bracers and the wand. Probably going to get a vitality booster right now. He is. That's the goal for LGD. Just tank up enough that Storm can't insta-give anybody in your team, and then you can turn the fight around.
Yep, I completely agree. I mean, if you survive that vacuum wall combo, the Panda clap, the Panda by themselves aren't that powerful. You could actually, with this kind of item, like Vanguard and Sand King and Viv Booster and Strike, you could just turn around, right-click that Fire Panda down, and suddenly, the team fight, they have nothing. They have a wall that's immobile. They have a Panda split that lacks a Fire Panda. And a Storm Sphere that's very, very finesse-based and can be easily stunned down. So I think LGD, once you tank the initial barrage, they're absolutely fine. I think they're in a great way to kind of cement themselves as the advantage, the stronger team in the mid-game.
And here we go.
Morphling, yep, they're looking for that smoke gang, and they have the Hex. So...
will they find Musica? Patience here from LGD. Immediate scythe on a Musica. Great play there, catching him out.
No chance.
Bursting him down. And this is a problem. The scythe was up on Storm for about 3 minutes, had some openings, got, I want to say, 1 kill with it. But since then, nothing. And now LGD, they have more lockdown. Storm is a hero that as escapable as he can be. If you have Burrow Strike, Split Earth, and Scythe, you can just pick him off at will.
I mean, just look at the difference about the ganks. This is a Stormstray who is like, probably the best hero in the game, other than the Prophet, to bypass wards, to set up gank undetected. LGD's lane wards has been absolutely immense. Meanwhile, LGD, like they have heroes that are fairly mobile, but they have to run past wards. But because of good smoke gank usage, they're getting undetected ganks. So I think it just comes down to warding and map awareness, and LGD is just on a different level, at least for this game.
Well, for AL, there will be no next game. If they lose this one, they will go home. So they've got to find a way to turn this one around. They're behind about 10k gold as well as 5k experience. Pretty significant gold lead, but I still say AL have a shot. You can never count a team with a Darkseer Panda out, and here we go. A big wraparound backstab gank. That's how they want to try and pull this one out of the hat. Can they do it? The replicate will be heading in. Should not scout them out. But we'll have to see if they get into the high ground, get into the right position. No, they actually go for the replicate. Oh, AL. That's unfortunate. Smoke gank is up. The trump card exposed, and now they're going to have to back off. This lane ward, you mentioned the lane wards. They are just spotting everything this game.
Yep. I think that was a huge mistake. The replica, like LD was talking about, does not reveal the smoke. So they could have just waited a little bit, perhaps. It was like, oh my god, that's a Queen of Pain. Let's just go for the kill, and whoops.
Yeah, a little bit jumpy, I want to say,
yeah,
for AL here.
And they should be, right? They're down by 10k facing Illumination, so they can't make too many mistakes. So here we go, Xiao 8 and a squad looking to pressure on the bot tier 2. 10 heroes nearby. Morphling in the front lines. He's so tanky. Mantisile is already used. So
and
that's a Lincoln Sphere.
And that's what LGD can do. They can just bait this Morphling all day. He can be way out front. Even if they, by some miracle, they kill Sylar once, he's got the Aegis anyway. So that's the big difference between these teams. Whereas for AL, who can really stand in front? Even Shatan, as tanky as he is, with the Scythe device up on the Queen of Pain, you may be able to burst him down. And the same, of course, goes for the rest of the squad, who are much squishier. So I just don't know who they can have just standing out in front like that. But LGD are going to back off. They're content to farm, and the longer this game goes on, I'm not sure AL have this one late. They don't have that hard carry. They have some very strong initiators, some great team fight, but where's the big damage going to come from? I'm not seeing it right now.
Yeah, Storm Surge's damage output is really, really decreasing. I guess you could... Darkseid could pick up some slack with the Wall of Replica. You should never really underestimate how much damage it does. But again, that just assumes the enemy team just stands there and fight under the wall, which... I'm gonna take a guess that LGD would not do that. And of course, LGD, they're farming faster. Look at this Venomancer. This is like the 8th or 9th time I see him hitting this Ancient Camp. Queen of Pain farming one lane, the Morphling farming another. They're gonna just out-farm Absolute Legend as this game progresses. Our hero use farm a little bit better. And Absolute Legend just have a very limited clock to win this game, and I think that clock is winding down and they're running out of time.
Sylar 3.5k, so much gold in the bank, and he's not going to save it because he does have the Aegis. Expect a big item soon, be it the Butterfly, be it the Ethereal Blade, be it something like an Eye of Skady. Whatever he wants, he's got it pretty soon. And once that next big item comes up, to me, that's probably where the game is just unwinnable. Here we go. It's going to be an Eagle Psalm. If he goes for Ethereal Blade, is there anybody that can actually burst down? Oh yeah. Yeah, buddy, very killable. Musica could probably be burst down, especially with a couple follow-ups. Even Snoopy, unless he gets the pipe off, might be in danger of going down. Enchantress, pretty similar. Everybody pretty squishy at this point in the game, especially because Sylar has so many other items. His agility is already sky high.
Yep. Also want to go back to Snoopy. I want to point this out earlier, but forgot to do so. Is that Snoopy is having very, very little farm for a hero like Darkseer. Generally, he gets extremely tanky, Vanguard and a pipe. He's minus about 2k gold right about now. And that just goes off to the powerful lane that they have up top. And the fact that Snoopy can't get into the lane, he's just really lacking a farm right now. Generally, you were saying earlier, who could actually go up in front and have that tanky baity row? Usually it's the Darkseer. But in this game, he can't because he lacks the survivability.
Yeah, he's very reliant on getting that pipe off, which when you're up against the Scythe, if you're in the front lines, you cannot count on getting it off.
Right.
So he's got to stay back. And then it just comes down to who can be in front. I guess it's got to be the Panda, but if Shatan doesn't get his ult off, that fight's over. So he's not really the ideal candidate to be in front either. For AL, to me, the one way they can try and win a team fight is something a little bit creative or sneaky. But another Aegis will be going the way of LGD. Morphling is not there. Did he just lose his replicate? I think it just died by mistake to Roshan. And, well, he could TP in if he wants to. He's going to do that right now.
Yeah, no big deal for Morphling. He's going to take this Aegis as well, considering that he does not have to buy back.
No, they're going to
but looks like this is a good time for Absolute Legend to come in. They have the Centaurs to help out scouting. Roshan down to about 60% HP, but they're okay for now. But here's LGD. They have the tier 1 up on the mid lane, the tier 2 on the bot. Should this really comes down to a very, very long engage, LGD's got the buybacks. Xiao's got 2.8, so he could buy back and TP back. We have Venomancer with 1.7, DD. He's got a Blink Dagger and a Vanguard. Yeah, I think they're absolutely fine taking this fight here.
Blinking by Shatan. Clap only hitting on Yao. Scythe up immediately. They want to burst him down. There's not going to be a Panda ult this fight. He goes down immediately. Yao being pulled in. Not going to go down just yet. There's the Darkseer wall. Kind of a late wall because that Panda was so far ahead. Sylar still not dead. Does not have the Aegis. It goes down. It doesn't seem to matter though. The burrow strikes, multiple burrow strikes this fight. Long range waveform. And Musica taking a lot of damage. will be able to zip away. Not the lone survivor, but pretty damn close. Will he even survive? He will. But yeah, buddy, this is all up to him now. Can we see a big Aegis Jack? He is spotted out by some wards. Bleek's in, is gonna die. Yeah, buddy, trying to just make something happen here as the stand-in. But that something is another death going towards LGD. Immediate buyback by Darkseer. But they need a lot more than that if they want to win this fight.
I mean, yeah, but he looked like a player from Mouseboy right there because he was blinking 1v5, 1v3. Actually got a Queen of Pain kill. Everybody and their mother is buying back. They want this Roche, and of course Absolute Legend want to contest this Roche, but the damage is not fat, or the damage from Sylar is just too much. The double damage rune. He's hitting for 400 right now. Sylar picks up the Aegis.
He's got a
now
butterfly.
all those buyback on Absolute Legend is just it's just wasted down the drain. And he has a butterfly finish, like you mentioned.
Oh my god, this is going to be big trouble for AL. They lose a huge team fight, a bunch of heroes buy back, and then they don't even contest the Roshan, so they get nothing out of it. Sure, you force Xiao to buy back, but he already got some gold from that fight. He's already got his core items up anyway, and he really doesn't have to go in first. There you go, Butterfly picked up on Sylar, replicating back in towards the middle lane. Does LGD have everything they need? Is it time to go all mid, or are they waiting? Oh, Sylar! Uh-oh, that might have been a little overzealous. Blink in, clap, Panda ult. Sylar does have the Aegis. Might go down here. The Impetus doing some good damage. The Butterfly really keeping him alive. Sylar still alive. One more wave. They just can't bring him down. The mech holding him in place, pulling him back. Finally, they kill him. But that's only the Aegis. And now he comes back to life. And they're going to have a mean, ugly morphing machine here to deal with. Right-clicking the Pandas. Furiously morphing towards agility. Blake in, Burrow Strike on the Pandas, as well as the Enchantress. Enchantress taking a lot of damage. bdiz will go down. Shatan morphs back in. He will die. Shatan, he will... No, he just dies. Almost living there with the evasion. And now LGD, they can go mid.
Yeah, the ping is happening for mid lane. One thing I want to point out about Sylar coming back alive with Aegis like that, normally it doesn't work out so well because you're all in strength, so you're not going to do a lot of damage, but because he had his team fully alive, they had to throw every spell on Sylar, that his entire team was very full HP. He was just morphing down to agility in the middle of team fight, like no worries. But meanwhile, Yabadi gets Burrow Strike, gets hexed up, he's done. Sorcerer zips in here, no stun for him right now, but the damage, right-click damage is just enough. Meanwhile, here comes Snoopy, trying to defend this by himself, but it would not be enough. Re-dead, the wall gets dropped down, Epicenter gets channel as well, and he didn't even take any pulses. He just died right there, Glyph gets used, but Rax number 1 is going to be going down, and LGD poised to take even more Raxes, because Sylar, full HP, full mana, and 2.5k in the bank. He could just tank this tower, no problem.
This looks like it's going to be the end for AL. They're going to lose at least 2 racks, if not give up mega creeps, and they're up against an outrageously farmed Morphling. Way behind in gold, way behind in experience, not even having the better late game to fall back on. Darkseer ult down, Panda ult cooling down, will be up, but really, like you said, when you get to late game versus Panda, he's not that scary because you just right-click down the Fire Panda, and then he's not doing damage. Sure, he can boulder toss you. You can even right-click down the Earth Panda at this point with a Morphling this big. And he's got 3.5k gold. Ayo, we may have to say goodbye to them in the World Tour. Unfortunately, LGD just looking a bit too strong here. First in Game 1, dominating AL, and then in Game 2. Well, it's been more of a back-and-forth game, but they never dealt with Sylar, and now they're having to sort of pay the piper here. You can't ignore Morphling all game without getting some amazing trade-offs, and Illumi, I'm just not sure they got them.
Yeah, I could say for sure they didn't get it. I feel like LGD is playing on a different level. The lane warding that you mentioned, how many times have that saved the tier 1 top tower as well as the Queen of Pain? The item choices, you talked about the Vanguard, the Bracer, the Vid Booster, and they're just tanking up, and you can't kill, and you can't push. Meanwhile, LGD, they're protecting the tier 1 and tier 2 towers on the mid and bot lane respectively, having the buyback and going back to that Roche pit. I mean, they're just doing everything right, and I think Absolute Legend made a little bit too many mistakes to kind of play on an even footing to LGD.
Well, DD smoke revealed, does get spotted out by a ward here, but he'll just back off. Up top, it is Xiao. It looks like he's going for maybe a late Lincoln Spear. He already has this sacrifice. Either way, Blake and Rubik still selling from Yao, but then just walks away. That's only a level 2 Gale. Yao has opted just to get stats over max. Then zip in. Musica with the BKB up, trying to do whatever he can. The Panda ult gets dropped. The wall as well. DD burst strikes out. Only Morphling is dead, but that is a big pickoff and no buyback. Maybe AL are still in this. Yao gonna get 2 kills. Can they push fast enough? Now becomes the question. That Morphling just bought a BKB Lumi and never got to use it. He had buyback, but he elects to buy the BKB. Now he's down for 80 seconds. Glyph is still up. Will this be enough time?
I think LGD counted out Absolute Legend like how we counted them out, and Absolute Legend says the game's still going on. We might be down 2 racks, but we'll go for this. And they caught the Morphling without buyback. That's a huge mistake that we don't see many Chinese teams.
Nobody
LGD
has buyback.
Specifically make.
Oh,
Yeah, nobody has buyback. But here comes a huge epicenter. They want the entire team, but it won't be enough. Sonic Wave hits nothing, but they are going to get the Darkseid regardless. And I think that should be enough, and that will buy them enough time for the Morphling to come back alive. I don't think Morphling will get picked off a second time. Shatan gets burrowed one more time. Split Earth is going to pick him down. There's lightning. Yeah, I don't think Morphling is going to make the mistakes one more time. He's going to have that BKB ready to go. And I just don't think Absolute Legend could make that kind of spectacular comeback one more time.
Well, that was
they're gonna need fights like these, like a couple more of them, not just one more.
That was on the back of all the big ultimates. The Panda ult, the Darkseer ult, and there just was no follow-up after that for that second fight. Whereas for LGD, a lot of their key spells are very spammable. Burrow Strike, Split Earth, even the Sight Device of the Queen of Pain. So that's part of the problem with this AL lineup in the late game. Very reliant on those big ultimates, and even if they kill off a hero like Morphling, they have to use everything to kill him, and then there's nothing left for that second round.
Just look at how many HP items you have. Let's just count them out. Lincoln Sphere, Strength Treads, Hex. Manta, BKB, Lincoln Sphere, Strength Treads. Vanguard, Heart, or makings of Heart for this Sand King. Same thing, Mech, Urn, and Heart for the Venomancer. The Shrek has a Bloodstone and Double Bracer. How did he kill this team?
Well, they did it once, but that was an aggressively agility more Sylar, and he is a bit more towards the strength part now. Blink it on Musica, sights up, held in place, lockdown, brought down. Now they turn their attention towards Snoopy. Nice wall vacuum, catching a couple of heroes, but they don't care. They're just gonna blink away, diving the fountain. Now bdiz will be the target. Burrow Strike coming through, but yeah, buddy, great Burrow Strike. Xiao 8 might go down. This is a really aggressive fountain dive. Morphling replicates it, gonna get another. Sylar absolutely out of control at this point with that BKB up, cannot be stopped, cannot be killed, and now Panda off in no man's land. Another Burrow Strike, this time onto you, buddy. Not from him, and DD with the epicenter, looking for the kill, not gonna find it. Morphling in the air for an eternity and a half. Finally the Panda ult, and Sylar with the ultra kill, going for the rampage. I believe he's gonna get it, Lumi, putting that sort of exclamation point on this game. Couple more auto attacks will do it. The adaptive strike! Come on, Sylar, dive the fountain, my friend. You know you want it. He's not going to.
Boo. But he wins the game. It's okay.
A win is a win. A win is a win.
Wins is what counts the most. Sylar, I mean, don't need a GGGL next is what bdiz called it out. Yeah, LGD will advance. Who are they going to be facing against in the semifinals or quarterfinals?
Well, I will look that up, but guys, you can go to dotacommentaries.com if you want to check it out. As we see Musica fighting the entire LGD squad at his own fountain. Sylar taking some big damage. He'll wait for him out of that one. That's going to do it for today's action. All we have is this single playoff match for you guys. LGD will move on. The brackets are available at dotacommentaries.com. And I believe they have been updated. They were incorrect. I'm actually going to go off of the ones they know are correct. It will be LGD facing off against IG, so it's going to be a Chinese versus Chinese team matchup in that second stage of the round of 8. We have 2 more best out of 3s before we get to the round of 8. We're in the round of 12 right now. The 2 matches that have not been played are Complexity versus Tong Fu, as well as Orange versus Mouse Sports. So a big fan favorite there in Mouse Sports, who barely made it into the playoffs. But that's going to do it for today.
Yep, a good opportunity to advertise for the tickets. We are going to playoff, and action's really fast, really furious. And catch all the action. The ticket you could buy for Dota TV, only $3.99. You get access to all the replays that we cast so far, and we have a lot of great games. So, movie makers out there, fellow commentators out there, don't pass this one up.
Yeah, great opportunity. Great opportunity for everybody, whether you just want to watch the games or whether you want to do something with the games. Of course, you are more than welcome to commentate them yourself, make video clips, anything like that. It is all open to you guys. If you want to get the in-game pass, if not, the VODs are available. Go to dotacommentaries.com, click on World Tour. VOD links will be there. And everything has been uploaded as of yesterday. I'll be getting these VODs up, or maybe Lumi will, depending on who wants to do it. But we'll figure that out later. The other option is just subscribe to us on YouTube, youtube.com/LDdota. That's where most of your games are. And selected VODs, only the best, are at Lumi's channel, youtube.com/luminousinverse. That's going to wrap it up for today, guys. So, from all the guys at dotacommentaries.com, as well as Beyond the Summit, this is LD and Luminous, also known as David and David, signing off.